Hey everybody, it's Nicole. Welcome back to our Melt Yoga online classes. Today I'm going to be offering you a level 2 practice, but of course, as always, I'm just your guide, so you can honor your body and take things back a scale if you need to. Just modifying however feels good for you, especially if you're practicing at home, you might not have some space to do some things. All right, with that being said, let's get started. Today we find our way to a child's pose. So your knees find their way up towards the corners of your mat. The big toes find their way towards one another, and you just kind of settle down into the space below. Arms finding their way, whatever's most comfortable for you. And then give your hips a little shift side to side. Same thing with the third eye, a little rock, a little shift. And then start to settle in a stillness. Slowing down, making your way to the four corners of your mat. And drawing a long breath in, filling all the way up. Open up and let it go. Again, longer. And let it go. One more. And now tap into your Ujjayi breath. The breath that takes itself in and out through the nose, starting to build that heat from the inside out. Allowing the hips to sink down deeper, the shoulders to rest a little lower. If you haven't already started to find that active child's pose, fingertips crawl all the way towards the front, elbows start to lift, hovering off the mat. Trying to keep this breath throughout the next 15 minutes. Now keep your eyes closed for a moment and make your way up into almost like a tabletop position, but before you find yourself to that tabletop, find any sort of movement that feels good for you. Maybe shifting the hips forward, rotating your fingertips in all different directions, warming up through the wrists, through the forearms. Maybe even taking a few cat-cows if that is comfortable for your body. And now settling in a neutral spine. So shoulders over wrists, hips over knees, belly scoops in so you've got that nice long spine. And now tuck your toes and hover your knees just about an inch or two off the mat below. Find that puffed up space. Not finding tension in the wrist, pulling the belly in, holding the posture, but not the breath. Take another inhale in. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Take a moment, paddle out the legs, maybe hearing those pops, those cracks within the ankles. Pressing the shoulders far from the mat below, and then pushing the chest closer towards the thighs so you feel that nice long line down the backs of the legs. Holding here in this stillness for just a moment. And now take the gaze forward and walk your toes to make their way behind the wrist. Finding ragdoll, giving yourself a little sway side to side, maybe grabbing for opposite elbows or even interlacing the hands behind the back. Whatever feels good for you. Bending through the knees as much as you'd like. Now, if you haven't already, release your hands down towards the floor. Allow the body to fold a little deeper in half. And now heel to the feet to touch. With a bend in the knees and the eyes remaining closed, roll yourself up to standing. Big shoulder roll as you come up to the top, palms face forward, chest is proud. Take a breath in. And then let it go. Blinking the eyes to open. Our inhale is mountain, lifting all the way up. Ground down to the four corners of the feet. Pull the ribs closer towards the hips and rotate your pinkies in just a little bit. Now as you exhale, take a back bend. Lift through the mid-back. Heart goes up towards the sky, hips press forward. The inhale takes you straight down into a chair, shifting back into the heels Scoop the belly in. Give your 10 toes a little bit of a wiggle. Now I'm going to challenge your balance right here. As you exhale, chair plane, lift hands, lift heels, squeeze your inner thighs. Now hold the heels high, stand up tall if you can, and then swan dive down, hinging forward. Heels fall at the bottom for your halfway lift, fingers on earth, shins, thighs, and then crouch and curl, take a tight little ball. So for this first round of crouch and curl, maybe you find a balance challenge, grabbing for opposite elbows as you hug the forehead down, or maybe even take a few lifts and lowers of the heels, spread the toes. And now we're finding our flow. Release the hands down if they haven't found their way there yet. Inhale, lift, mountain pose all the way up. Find that back bend, heart high. Take your chair, sit back, biceps by the ears, chair plane, lift, hands, lift, heels, squeeze inner thighs. Again, standing up tall, mountain pose, hold that balance if you can, and then hold it, swan dive it down, release. Halfway lift, fingers down towards the shins, and then crouch and curl. We're taking one more round just like that. Inhale all the way up, little taller for the crown of the head. Deepest back bend here, heart high, hips forward, take a seat into your chair, sit back. Chair plane, lift hands, lift heels, thumbs lift higher, hold those heels again, stand up tall. Swan dive it down, lengthening through the inner thighs. Now take your halfway lift, and then step into a high plank. Start to find this shift forward and back. Now today I am not practicing chaturangas, but of course, as this is a level 2, if you would like to take them, you can find them here. I'm going to hold the plank position, finding the strong posture, shoulders over wrists, lengthening through the backs of the legs, and as I exhale, down dog. Gaze forward, step, hop, float to the top of your space. Take a halfway lift, and then forward fold. Going back to our chair, inhale, Utkatasana, sit back, squeeze inner thighs, chair plane, lift hands, lift heels, press the palms towards one another. 2 more times, release down, sit low, chair plane, lift hands, lift heels, little higher with the heels. 1 more time, sit down, chair plane, lift hands, lift heels. Again, we hold those heels high, stand up tall, mountain pose, engaging through the backs of the legs, and then swan dive it down, release, hinge forward. Take your halfway lift, and then again, step into your plank. If you're taking the push-up, go for it, maybe even taking it on the knees, and then when you're ready, exhale, downward facing dog. Right leg lifts, spiraling your right pinky toe down to the floor, lengthening the left heel down towards the earth, take your knee towards your right tricep. 2 more times, lift up, exhale, hug it in. 1 more time, lift it high, hug that knee in towards the underarm, lift it a little higher, and then place the foot right where that right hand is at. We low lunge twist. Twisting the torso towards the side wall right here, lengthening through the backs of the legs. Now I'm going to challenge your core right here. Start to creep onto the tips of the fingers on that left hand, and then just stack your shoulders over your hips for an open twist. Turning your shoulders towards the side wall, maybe even gazing towards the right hand. And then as you exhale, blossom open, warrior 2. Press the right thigh back behind you, left heel's the furthest thing to the back edge of your mat. Now hold the lower body as is, just reach your fingertips forward, create that long line for the right side of the body, and then open straight up to side angle. Left arm reaches up, rebounds up towards the sky. Now option to stay here with your lower body, or upper body, or reach the left fingertips up a little higher. And then as you exhale, circle the arm around. Utthita, bicep by the ear. And then take your right hand and stretch it towards the back corner of the room, all while keeping the left side of the body up. Now as you inhale, reverse your triangle, kicking the right toes up to the sky, maybe taking a half wrap. Fingertips stretch up and back, enjoying that stretch. And then cartwheel, the hands down. Take your high plank, low plank if you choose, and then downward facing dog. Same thing, left side. Left leg slides up, toes rotate down, and then take your knee towards your underarm. Give it a tap. 2 more times. Lift up. Hug it in. Exhale. 1 more time. Lift it up. Hug your knee in towards that underarm. Lift it a little higher, and then place it down. Low lunge twist. Left arm reaches up. Now we always have one side that is stronger or weaker than the other. So start to come and creep onto the tips of the right fingers right here. Keep the core nice and tight. Stand up tall. Open twist. Feel the fingertips reach to opposite sides of the room, gazing towards that left side if you want, and then open up, warrior two. This time, right toes rotate in just a little bit. Shoulders are relaxed. Start to stretch your fingertips forward and then open straight up to that side angle. Left side pushes into that side beneath you. Option to stay here or stretch the fingertips up and then circle it up and around. Find that bicep by the ear and then stretch the left fingertips back behind you. Now kick the toes up towards the sky. Reverse your triangle. Dropping the left shoulder down and then cartwheel those hands down high. To low if you choose, or just hold that plank for a moment and then exhale down. Breath to movement 2 times each side with a few little add-ons. Take or leave them. Gaze forward. Make your way up to the top. Take your halfway lift and then surrender down. Inhale, Utkatasana. Take a seat. Pull the belly in. Chair plane. Lift hands, lift heels 2 more times. Again, sit back into those heels. Chair plane, lift hands, lift heels. You've got 1 more of those. Sit down. Squeeze. Chair plane, lift hands, lift heels. Now hold the heels high, stand up tall mountain pose. Here's your add-on. Option to, as you exhale, open up the knees, plant the hands down towards the floor. Tuck your knees in towards your underarm and take crow. Now shifting forward, maybe start to lift those heels up towards the glutes. Again, if crow is not in your practice, skip it. Again, I am just stepping back straight into my high plank instead of floating in too low. And then downward facing dog. Right leg lifts. Now if hurdler is in your practice, as you take that right knee towards the underarm, feel free to take it right there. I'm moving on. Hug that knee in towards the underarm. 1 more time, lift up. Exhale, low lunge, twist, right arm up, creeping towards the tips of the fingers. We inhale, lift, open twist. Exhale, warrior two. Hold the bend, stretch forward as you breathe in, and then go straight to that arm variation here. Right fingertips reach up and back behind you. Toes reach up. And then cartwheel the hands down. High plank. Downward. Facing dog. Left leg up. Again, if hurdler's in your practice, take it right here. If you're moving on, you got 2 more rounds. Need a tricep. 1 more time. Exhale. Left arm up. Creeping to the tips of the right fingers. Stack your shoulders over the hips. Open twist. Hold that balance. Warrior two. Hold the bend. Stretch forward. Go straight to that arm variation. Firing up those obliques. And now reverse that triangle. Toes up to the sky. High to low. Or just plank to down dog. We have 1 more round here, yogis. Gaze forward. Make your way up to the top. Halfway lift. And then forward fold. Inhale, chair, sit back. Chair plane, lift hands, lift heels. Hold those heels high. We stand up tall, mountain pose. Open up the knees, take that crow, or just skip it if you choose, your choice. Halfway lift. If you are a crow, maybe you float it back straight to that low plank, protecting the shoulders, protecting the spine, and then we meet down dog. Now we're moving to just 1 knee to tricep here. So if you can take a quick little hurdler, feel free. If not, we just place the foot down. Right arm up. We inhale. Keep that balance. And then exhale, warrior two. Stretch it forward, open straight up. And then toes up towards the sky, stretch. And then cartwheel the hands down. Find your variation for 1 more round right here. Left leg lifts. Need a tricep. Step it through. Left arm up. Hold the twist. Stand up tall. Open twist. And then open up, warrior two. Stretch forward. Right bicep by the ear. And then toes up towards the sky. Meeting in downward facing dog. Take your gaze forward, step, hop, float to the top when you find your way there. Take a seat. Keep the feet flat on the floor. Roll yourself all the way down towards your back. Use that core. And then when you find your way down, hug your knees in towards the chest. Give yourself a nice big rock side to side. Flexing through the feet, left heel grounds down, right knee slides in, breathe in. And then as you exhale, twist. Shifting the left hip so it slides underneath the right, maybe gazing up and over towards the right side. Every inhale creates a little longer line. Every exhale, twist the body a little deeper, slowing down. And then hugging those knees back into the chest, realigning for just a moment. And then right heel down, left knee slides in, breathe in. And then twisting as you exhale, release. And then hug your knees back into the chest. If your body needs anything else before you finish out this practice, feel free to take it now. If and when you are ready, legs extend all the way towards the outer corners of your mat. Hands fall down to the sides of the body, taking up as much space as you need. And before you settle into this final shavasana, take a breath in. And then let it go.